gonna make some super, super yummy. Do you want to tell them what we're making?
Banana muffies.
Banana muffies. And if you don't have a muffy tin, you can use a regular muffin tin. You can use a cupcake pan, mini cupcake pan, or you can even make this into a bread. That's right, a bread. So they're going to be a banana chocolate chip, and we're going to make a streusel topping to go on top.
What is it?
It's delicious. It's like a crumbly, cinnamony, sugary deliciousness. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. Our first ingredient we're going to pour into our bowl is 2 cups of flour.
I want to do it.
Okay.
I wanted to do it
Low and slow, because otherwise we'll get a big poofy cloud of dust.
Like,
yeah. So we have our 2 cups of flour. Now we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
This all by myself?
You can. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we have, let's see, how much cinnamon? We have 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to pour in there. You got it? Uh-oh. Okay. So we have our 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're just going to take one of our measuring spoons that we use to measure out our ingredients and give it a little stir. It's okay. We can clean that up later. I'm sure there will be plenty more messes in the making of this video. Okay, so we have our dry ingredients. We're going to grab our mixer, and we'll be right back to mix the wet ingredients. Okay, so now it's time for us to mix our wet ingredients. We have 1/2 cup of butter, or 1 stick of butter. Dump it in. You're just going to grab it and throw it in there. Okay. And then we have 1 cup of white granulated sugar.
I want to do that all by myself.
You got it. And we have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You like to use your hands, don't you? All right, so we're going to mix this until smooth, light, and fluffy. And we'll be back. Our eggs and vanilla are nice and mixed in. So now we're going to take our dry ingredients that we mixed up earlier and slowly add those. And we're going to mix until it's just incorporated. Careful not to overmix.
Yes. And then it'll go.
Yeah, and don't mix it too fast or it'll go.
What?
Now we're going to add our last and most important ingredients. Actually, not our last, our second to last. And most important ingredients to our batter. So we have 2 tablespoons of sour cream. You can use Greek yogurt if you don't have sour cream. Instead, it will work just the same. So we have our sour cream.
Why not any yogurt?
Any yogurt, actually any yogurt probably will work. Greek yogurt is just the most similar consistency to sour cream. And we have 3 large bananas smushed, and it looks like it made about 1.5 cups of smushed bananas. So we're just going to mix the sour cream and the bananas. And you definitely want to use overripe bananas. What we do is, I'm kind of picky about the ripeness of my bananas, and once they have spots, I don't eat them. So once they get lots of spots, I'll put them in the freezer, and I will actually de-thaw them and use those for my baking with bananas, and it always turns out really, really good. So this is all mixed up. Now we're going to go ahead and pour it into our batter and mix it until just combined, and then we'll be back to make the streusel topping. Yeah! Sugary, cinnamony goodness. get to the streusel. For the streusel, you'll need a half cup of flour. You'll need a half teaspoon of cinnamon. You will need 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar. We use dark brown sugar. If you have regular brown sugar, that will work just as well. And then 3 tablespoons of butter. And you want your butter to be cold. We are, sorry, I gave you the idea to poke the sugar. The butter, you do want it to be cold, and I went ahead and cut it up into smaller pieces. That way it will be easier to spread throughout our streusel topping. Do you need a nap? You can nap while these are baking, okay? All right, so we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and mix this together. Our flour and our cinnamon. Okay. And then we're going to add our 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to mix it in nice and good. Are you entertaining while I mix? Making mixing more entertaining. So we have that mixed up pretty well. Now we're going to go ahead and add our butter. Get all that butter. And we're going to mix it until it's nice and crumbly. And then we're going to start getting our batter and crumb mixture in our pans. Yay! And we're actually going to make all 3. So we're going to make muffins, a loaf of bread, and some mini muffins. And I'm not quite sure how long the muffins or mini muffins will take at this very moment, but we'll let you know. And the loaf of bread will take about an hour to bake.
How do you know that?
Because I've made it in a bread version before.
Huh? You've made bread?
Yes. Okay, we're going to continue mixing this until it's nice and crumbly. Then we'll come back to show you us getting it all nice and situated in our pan. Okay, so we are starting with our muffins. You'll do the same thing we're doing with the muffins with a regular muffin tin. You'll just fill it up, leaving a little bit of space at the top. With muffins, it's a little different. You can't really leave a whole lot of space at the top, but I would say go ahead and fill your muffin tin, your regular muffin tin, about 3/4 of the way full with batter. So we're going to just show you how we did it with our muffin tin. We just took some batter. Hold on, we need a little bit more in there. Put a little bit more, 1 second. Some batter in there, and then we spreaded it around so that way it would touch the edges. Here, let's be careful not to get it on the outside, otherwise we will have it stuck. We won't be able to get it out of our tin to eat it. I know, right? Catastrophe. Okay, so now we have our dough all spread around there. We're just going to take a spoonful of our crumb topping and sprinkle it on and kind of spread it around on the top. And these are ready to go in the oven. Okay, now we're going to do our bread pan. So we're just going to take our batter, and we are only going to fill up the bread pan about 2/3 of the way full.
Chocolate chip bread?
Banana chocolate chip bread. Yes, sir. Actually, we're only going to fill our bread pan about half the way full. That way it'll cook a little bit faster. And that way we have some left for mini muffins too.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you definitely grease this pan. Otherwise, the bread will be stuck when you're done. And you will not be able to get it out very easily. And it will be a mess.
And then you have to stick your face and then try to eat it.
I guess that's one way you can do it.
And then turn birthday. And then turn birthday cake and then do that.
Sure, okay. Okay, so like our muffins, we're just going to go ahead and sprinkle some of this delicious crumbly topping on top. And unlike the muffins, since this is in a bread pan and the edges are contained, you can be generous with the crumb topping and put a lot on there. So you'll have nice, thick crumb topping on top.
Yeah, and yummy.
Yes. Lots of yummy, delicious goodness.
How long will the muffins cook?
I'm guessing the muffins will take 10 to 15 minutes, but don't quote me on that just yet. We'll come back with a time once they're done. We're just going to check on them at 10 minutes, and then if they're not done, we'll check and see how much longer we think they need from there. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're going to bake our bread for 60 minutes, and we're going to check on those at 10, but we'll let you know for sure how long they do take. And we'll be back.
Yeah. This one. All about this.
They're all done. So our muffins did take exactly 10 minutes to complete. Our mini muffins surprisingly took a little bit longer. So those took, how long did they take? Those took 15 minutes. Oh, no, 16 minutes. And then our bread loaf of the pan that we just filled, probably about 2 inches, that took 45 minutes. So if you're going to fill your bread pan all the way, it may take up to an hour and 20 minutes, an hour 15 minutes. You'll just want to make sure you're checking on it once you get past that hour mark every 5 minutes or so you don't overbake it. You ready to try it? Which one you want to try? A muffie? I'm going to try a little muffin. Do I want to? Yeah, I just want a little muffin. That looks good. Is it good?
Tastes like hot chocolate.
It tastes like hot chocolate?
S'mores.
Hot chocolate s'mores. I think they're very good. What do you think? Should they make these?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, we hope you enjoy this recipe just as much as you did. And this helped you put your past date bananas to use. And we will see you next time.
Bye. See you next time.